Brian, are you ready?
Keith, I'm always ready.
Love that.
What are we going to do in this segment?
On this segment of Colorado Biz TV, I'm Keith.
And I'm your host, Brian.
Here we go. He asked, what are we going to do on this segment? Well, red wine and
The chocolate.
how do you say that?
The chocolate?
Is that when you say it when it's from the Alps?
Is that where this chocolate's from, is the Alps?
It is.
Well, let's bust this chocolate out. Now, Keith, I know I keep hearing you say that when you're doing...
Who told you that?
You did. You told me that when you do chocolate, you like to do it with Merlot.
I do. You know, Merlot always has this. Any good Merlot or great Merlot should have a characteristic of chocolate, cocoa, and you know, Cabernet for me is that's what we have in our glass. Grand Street Vineyards, gsvineyards.com. I always have Cabernet with red meat, burgers, steak, lean steak with a lot of fat, hamburgers are lean, greasy, but I like Cabernet with red meat.
Well, you know, a trend, a new trend, it's a trend that's been going on for probably the last 5 years. I think you see in a lot of culinary books and magazines and in shows, people are always talking about pairing chocolate with the final course, you know, with Cabernet. It seems to be the big thing that all chefs and fine restaurants are doing these days. And one of the things that I wanted to point out while we're doing this show and try to get you off the idea of always doing Merlot,
Go for it.
is, you know, not all chocolate can be paired with any red wine. So with that said, I think a lot of chefs and a lot of people who are doing these reading on wine and food pairings have found that, okay, I can just take any Cabernet and put it with any chocolate. Well, the chocolate most people enjoy most is milk chocolate. And milk chocolate and Cabernet are actually a very poor combination. So what we've got here today...
You mean at Easter time you shouldn't be drinking Cabernet with your chocolate bunny?
You can drink whatever you want with anything you want to eat, but whether or not it's going to be a great pairing... no, seriously. I mean, that's rule number one in wine and food. You can put wine with whatever food you want. But it's guys like us that try to help coach people into. We've already found all the flaws. What doesn't work? Well, we haven't found all of them, but
I was going to say
many of them. So we're trying to save you from having to make the same mistakes.
Right.
Milk chocolate and Cabernet, not a good combination. But today, what we're doing is a bittersweet chocolate, Keith.
Really?
Or a dark chocolate, and you'll find that works very well with most red wines that are heavy in tannic acid. So I think what we're going to try right now is the chocolate on its own. See how it
Chocolate
tastes.
first, no wine.
Chocolate, no wine.
Okay.
And let's see what we think of the chocolate, and give us a description of what you think of this chocolate. Keith.
It's not like milk chocolate.
It's
got it almost has a it has a lot more structure. It's I wouldn't say, you know, it says bittersweet, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily very sweet. To me, it almost has like an acidity base to it, almost like wine does sometimes.
A little astringent.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost dries up your mouth a little bit, like
tannins.
Like tannins do. It's kind of interesting. I like it. It's good.
Yeah, it's actually better than what I thought I was going to think of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a straight chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you can critique chocolate too. Do you like this chocolate?
It's okay. I expect chocolate to be smoother and creamier. This has got a little bit of grit to it, but
right.
True
grit or just regular grit? Because John Wayne, you know, he was all about the grit, but it was all true. You see that movie?
I can't say that I remember it.
Too bad.
But it was a classic. I do know that. So let's try the wine with this.
So I just put a little chocolate in my mouth. And now you mentioned it's kind of gritty. Made me do one of those John Wayne looks.
I wish I could imitate John Wayne right now. That would be pretty funny, but I can't do it.
got quiet, but that's okay.
I was just thinking that when one person's drinking, the other one probably ought to be talking.
Well, that's okay. We're not going to be perfect. But I have to say, this wine doesn't do it for me with the chocolate. It's okay, but I think if the wine was showing more fruit, like Merlot typically does, I would say it's better. But I think the pairing is okay. I like it. I don't love it.
I would have to say that you have to try this yourself probably many times with different types
Too
of
bad.
chocolate.
Many times.
Yeah, hey, how bad can that be? Eating chocolate and,
That's not
and
bad
fine
at all.
wine.
You have friends or you just do that by yourself?
You can do it by yourself. But
Well, I say try both. By yourself and have friends over.
But I will say, I agree with you, Keith, on this one. As much as I keep trying to convince you, chocolate and Cabernet is a great pairing. This really isn't doing it for me right now either.
Well, you know what? One thing we will always be is honest.
You'll always get an honest opinion from us.
Right, Brian?
Yeah, that's true.
This is Keith,
This is Brian.
and you're watching Colorado Biz TV. Thank you.